Well, today was about being patient and executing trades that I was really comfortable with. Just getting back into the saddle. Had a bad day on Friday. We'll talk about it in the stream recap here. But yeah, I just wanted to execute trades that I was really comfortable with and get back into kind of normalcy. Ended up being a really slow market. We're going to go and recap everything right now. If you didn't know, the stream happens live every day, Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Central Time on my main channel, Trades by Matt. And other big thing to note right now is that right now, Apex accounts, which is what I trade on stream, I trade 20 of the 50K funded accounts, are 90% off with code TBM. So you can go get started if you want to. Let's dive into the recap. Yo, good morning. All right, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. Hopefully you had a good weekend. My weekend was interesting. If you saw my Twitter, you saw my Twitter. If you saw my YouTube community page, you saw my YouTube community page post. Friday sucked. Friday was a bad trading day for me. Tilted out of my mind. And it is what it is. For me, the best way, I'm literally only going to address this once, because the best way for me to move on personally is to address, or really it's like accept, analyze, address, move on, right? So I analyze the situation, big takeaways, some slight little changes to things, which we'll talk about in the coming days. And then not to any trading strategy. It's really just like personal discipline. And then move on, right? For me, normalcy is good. Someone, like, a lot of people tell me to like take the next week off. It's like, nah, F that, honestly. Like, I need to return to normal like ASAP. It's like getting the yips or something. Like, if you just like put you out of your trading for too long, I'm gonna be too scared to take a trade. So I need to return back to normal. And arguably it's one of the best times for me to do it, because I am so hyper focused on being patient and and taking good setups, right? So that being said, accounts are at 59,300 or whatever. This is pre-payout also, so it'll drop to 57 assuming those get approved. So I'm at like 59, gave back a couple weeks, and on to the next, right? The race was really fun. I had a great time. I'm so sore. My legs are very sore. My upper body is very sore. My left shoulder hurts like a mofo, because the only thing I had a hard time with was there was one thing that I couldn't get through. It was like the sideways wall where you couldn't use your feet on like handholds. I just wasn't flexible enough for it. And so I had to do like the penalty loop for that on the Spartan Race. And then the other thing was I got up the rope wall. It was like 20 feet. I climbed up it. I decided to not use my feet because I could not figure out the feet situation. So I just like used my arms and climbed up it. And then when I hit the bell and realized I needed to go back down, I didn't have my feet, obviously. I just had my arms. And it's a lot harder to like control a descent with just your arms, in my opinion. And so I like burned the crap out of my fingers, and my like left shoulder like got like pulled out almost. But overall, other than my finger burns, which are just, honestly, they're like in a terrible spot, I'm doing okay. And it was a great time. I will 100% do it again. Honestly, it was a very fun experience, and I'm really sore. And it was like a great way to, dude, I got my ass kicked by the market on Friday, and then I got my body kicked by the Spartan Race on Saturday. It was kind of like all you could want. Markets are open. You celebrate with a nice meal? No, in fact, I did the worst thing that you could ever do. I went out with my friends after it. One of my friends had a baby like 2 weeks ago, and so this was like kind of his first outing. And we just decided to go to a dive bar here in town, and ended up having a little bit of a saucy night. And it's not necessarily the best for recovery. I'm absolutely feeling it. I was like, I'm a freaking old man. That being said, though, to be fair, during the race, I felt amazing, especially not having run before. Like the 6 miles, honestly, it felt not terrible. And it was giving me a little bit of inspiration for like, big statement here, very big statement. And I don't want anybody to hold me accountable to it. Very big statement. But I've always wanted to do a triathlon, and I had like a little bit of like a, you know what? I really enjoy the race environment. I think I could get behind attempting one in like a year or two. So we'll see. Mark has been over 2 minutes. Very mellow overnight. We have no news. We got some talking heads, I guess, at 9:30. And then Bills at 10:30, but there's nothing really. going on. Daily levels. That's what we're looking at. Barely popped Friday's high maybe on the overnight session. Right around here. Getting a little kick. I wouldn't be shocked to see us kind of just slow grind, but we'll see. Volatility is not incredibly high right now. VIX is at a 12.2. That's not great. What's the VIX? Never used it before. It's just there's nothing really to use with it. It's a volatility index. People trade it. It's an index. But it's really just kind of measuring volatility, right? So you can like kind of have an idea. If you peek it, you can have a kind of an idea of what's been going on, what's projected to be going on. VIX above like 16, 17, 18. VIX above that is typically like we're getting pretty big ATR, like big moves, pretty volatile. Not saying like big percentage moves on the day, but like we're sliding a lot. You talk about VIX like low, like 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s even. Just a little bit of a snoozer. Dad joke of the day. May 20th, Monday, May 20th. Did you hear about the sensitive burglar? He takes things personally. I like that one. All right, we just left the overnight highs. I mean, 60-point ripper, all things considered. I thought we were going to be way dead. And we just had a nice little, like, almost 70-point move. The question is, do we rotate back down to VWAP 70s, middle line, right? Or do we push super hard out of it? I think if we push super hard out of it, it is very telling. If we're putting in this much volume above the overnight highs and at 700 psych level, and we push, like, truly push out of it, I think we are absolutely in a slow grind, and I should, like, only be playing longs. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely not my least favorite. I can tell you that. Slow grinds, if you can establish a slow grind day, and it's very hard to do when you're new, just to be honest. It's hard for me to do it, and I've been looking at this crap for a long time. But if you can establish it pretty early, they're not that bad. If you can't establish it, then you're fading a move for eternity, and you're just getting wrecked, right? And that sucks. I think it's way harder to establish slow grind down moves. I think that is like the most challenging environment for me to trade usually, is like a slow grind move to the downside. Because like typically like the old sayings are like never short a dull market, right? If things are slow, it's typically still bid it up, right? Like slow markets, you're not supposed to short. Up only slow grinds, not supposed to short. All-time highs, really, you're not kind of supposed to short that either. Like, and then all of a sudden you have these slow grind down days, and you're like, what is going on? What is fading a move? Fading is just doing opposite of a move. So like right now, if I would be fading this, I'd be looking like short for a pullback. Or if it's down, then you'd be fading it by looking longs for pullbacks. Delta is just doing its thing. We retest the overnight highs. Magical 80s. About to push 20s. I'd be interested in another like 700 to mid 90s buy potentially. Everything is still 90% off, by the way. Code TBM on Apex. I'm still trading the 2050Ks. Took a loss on Friday. Journaled it out. I tried to be as open on my journal as I could be. I think a lot of people have experienced what I went through for the most part. Had some people reach out. It was very nice. At the end of the day, though, it's just like, how are we going to fix it, right? I have a absolute daily loss limit into Rhythmic now. Shout out to Banana Bread Trades on that one. Goose for the tutorial. That's to prevent mass destruction, right? But at the end of the day, it's a personal problem, right? More than anything. And I said I wasn't going to talk about it too much. I feel comfortable talking about it right now a little bit. I'll talk about it when I want to talk about it, I guess is probably the better way to say it. Right now, I feel fine talking about it. It's a discipline issue more than anything. There are days that you see the market and there are days that you don't see the market, just straight up. And if you cannot walk away, if I can't walk away when I'm not seeing the market, I'm going to have really bad days, right? And Dante was messaging me. He's like, great post, but you didn't address how you're going to fix it. It's like, honestly, a good point. I think in the moment, I just was trying to like get my emotions out more than anything. Address it, move on, right? But to fix it, we talked about it, put a absolute daily loss limit in. which still gives me wiggle room, by the way. I have it at $1,500 right now. And I don't want to experience that. I want to stop earlier, right? But that's what I have it at. I think the other thing is like, he's like, you have to decide if you want to be a shit or not, right? Like, think about it. If you were in a room with other people, you wouldn't have done that. And it's true. If I was on the stream, I wouldn't have done that. If I had other people in my office, I wouldn't have done that. If I had meetings throughout the day, I wouldn't have done that. I was, you know, solo in my room with nothing but time and trading, right? And bad things happen in that case, right? So for me, it's like it's just a combo of like, obviously have the fail safes in. Should have had that in. 2, the positive out of all of it is that I still cut myself off, right? It's just I cut myself off too late. And so there's like I say on our vibe checks, there's a good and a bad and everything, right? Typically. There was 0 good in my trading. The one like and bad, I ran it down pretty hard. The good is that I didn't blow the accounts, right? I at least had some form of like cognitive presence to not just like empty out everything. But so much work to be done. And it's a great example. I'm honestly, I'm on a hell of a run right now. Just plain and simple. I'm trading very well, taking out a ton of money, and I'm on a hell of a run. And guess what? I still get humbled by the market, just like everybody else. And I still have to aggressively own myself, or the market's gonna own me, right? And it's a never-ending battle to get better every day. And it's a never-ending battle to keep learning. And all good reminders. And like perspective is also important. Like it sucks. Biggest losing day I've ever had, right? The benefits of copy trading are also extrapolated out on the benefits or the massive cons of copy trading, right? And I gave back a couple weeks, and that's annoying, right? But the number one things for me to remember are get back to normal, right? Get back to my normal routine. One bad day does not define my entire trading. One bad day does not define my trading strategy, I guess is a better way to say that. Like, I'm not going to be changing the way I trade. The way I trade works. Has been working, right? But is there some discipline issues there? Absolutely. For myself, absolutely, there's some discipline that needs to be like honed in on, addressed, made better. But am I going to sit here and beat myself up over it? No. You beat yourself up in the moment enough. Someone had asked, like, what was I thinking in the moments of tilt, right? And it's the same for me, and it's probably the same for everybody. It's you going, you ass shit, right? Like, I said that to myself probably 1,000 times. I don't need to beat myself up anymore. I beat myself up plenty during the moment. So move on. $4,500 per account, I think, basically. Pull up. I have a picture of the actual situation. Worst day ever. Yeah, like 4,600 per account, 91k. Massive over trading. Just everything that you could throw into it, it was there. I prefer to look at pretty P&L, you know? Just a personal preference. I prefer it when it's all green and consistent and looks nice and is like 2 to 3 trades. At least you didn't lose. The accounts could have been worse. Yeah, that's my point. That was what I was saying. I was like, I'm very thankful to Tilted Matt for still like having some form of like forward lookingness right after the stream. Yeah, go read. You can go to my Twitter @TradesByMatt and you can read the whole write up from it. I think it's worth a read, to be honest. I wrote it. I think it's worth a read. It's also in the community tab here on YouTube. So all of the actual details and the aspects of the day, I'm not going to address. I've already addressed it once, and that's enough for me. But moving forward, I think is those are good things to address. Is moving forward. I'm not going to readdress the issues at this point. The other thing, which I did address in the post, and I'll say it one more time. I'm so happy that I've been paying myself. I'm so happy I've been paying myself. It is still not worth it for me to drain the accounts. I want to continue to stair step up and ladder up and just be normal, right? Am I going to be taking larger payouts than 40k? Yes. Straight up. Am I going to be completely draining the accounts? No. But I am so effing happy that I have been paying myself. 200K cashed out already. Another 40K pending withdrawals right now. And like, I'm so happy that I've taken that money out. So pay yourself. You never know. You never know when you're going to snap and lose your mental, right? So pay yourself before. All I can say. Alrighty. Kind of rolling over a little bit. I would like to see us trade 14 to volume. 14 to 700. I think looks pretty decent. But Delta's kind of going flat a little bit. Feeling a little slow. It's top of the hour. Planning on tomorrow being the charity stream. That being said, we also are having to get a Scarlett needs to go to the doctor, and I don't know if we'll be doing that tomorrow morning or what. So it's a little bit iffy. I'll keep y'all updated in Discord and Twitter and stuff. As of right now, though, planning on the charity stream being tomorrow. Planning on streaming tomorrow. I'm planning on streaming every day this week, but there's potentials that I won't be. So just obviously, if I'm not here at 8:45, you can make the assumption I'll be there tomorrow, right? But yeah, the charity stream is planning on it being tomorrow. We'll be charity streaming for Leukemia Lymphoma Society, LLS. And it's going to be really fun. We haven't done one in a while. The vibes are always great. And it's a great organization. People in the chat have literally like received help from it, which is really cool. Whenever it hits close to home for our community, it's just awesome. So that's where we'll be donating. If you're in the United States, it's tax, like a tax write-off. You'll get a receipt from LLS in your email after you make a donation. I would really like to see us make the little push. I just don't. It's almost 30 points. I kind of don't think it happens, but I would like to see it happen. I'd be interested in buying it. We're at the 1.5, which is where we bounced last time. I would really prefer us to kind of get to like the 1 at 720 or this wick at 714. I just, like I said, I don't necessarily think it's gonna happen. We're kind of slow grinding out right now, right? So pullbacks are just usually not very deep. Where's all-time highs at? We're pretty close, huh? So we're very close. We're like 20 points away. It's very hard for me to imagine us not getting sucked up into that, and I definitely do not want to fade it personally. So I'm not going to be shorting at all-time highs or anywhere around here, really. I'll just wait for pullbacks, and if there's no pullbacks to buy, then there's no pullbacks to buy. And if we get slapped like crazy, we get slapped like crazy. But all right, we are still looking okay. We've been holding the last 40 minutes, like the in between the 1.5 and the 1. I think it's honestly a fair play again. Something like this would be very similar to that, right around 50 psych level. The thing is that it's right in between the wick at 52 and volume at 48. How is this 4 points? That's disgusting. It's literally nasty. This move is a 4-point move, and it looks bigger than that. Let me just like continue to make this even bigger. I'm at 2-point intervals for it to look normal. Will IB retest? And Doji? We just gonna push it or what? Quick sweep, maybe? 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 All right, I'm in. Another test of initial balance. Double dojis. I'm not interested in it coming back down. I caught a nice wick. I'm not interested in it going back down to that and it going lower. So I'll either stop out, break even, or we'll get a nice little push, but I'm definitely not going to take an L on this trade. Delta still looks fine. Just slow, man. A little sweepy. Stopped out. Break even. I'm up to $20 on one tick. One tick in the trade. Up $20 on the day. $1 per account. I'm fine with the break even there. I do not like a second retest of that. And hindsight, I really thought we were just gonna push it. I mean, immediately going back up to retest IBH. I think I got up to like probably 6 or 7 points in the money, somewhere around there. And I thought we were just gonna push it. We didn't, obviously. We ended up slapping back down. But I'm not willing to let a bottom tick trade like that go red. So if we push this, we push this. That's fine. I'll find another something to take. I gave it a shot. I gave it a good shot. It was in the money immediately. No drawdown. It's everything that I like in a trade. It's up 7 points right now, or 8 points. Looks like it probably just got like stopped out on the retest. On to the next. I could care less about this stop out. I feel fine with that. I just thought we were going to get this move immediately because the strength was there. But we're going to push the highs, I would assume, pretty soon. We're absolutely in slow grind mode. I mean, we're trading all-time highs. I'm definitely not shorting it. So I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I don't have the money for it yet. I didn't prove the money, right? But I'm doing everything that I want to do, and that's all that matters.